Hello good people, welcome to Keep Left, your car guide to all things cars and all things automotive. As always, my name is Kev, the host who knows most about cars, and today we have a very special car in terms of reliability. I'm going to do this review very differently. Most of the time I look at the good things about a car. I am willing to bet I'm not going to find anything bad or any drawback about this particular model because it has been there and it has been proven. This is the second generation of the Toyota Auris, with the first generation featuring the most known Toyota RAN-X, or what was referred to as the Alex. For me to tell you that this car has been there and it has been tried and proven. This is one of the most familiar engines when it comes to Toyota. I think Toyota fell in love with this engine, but if anything, if something ain't broken, why fix it? This is the 1.5 liter engine and 1NZ-FE. This engine is in so many different cars in terms of Toyota. In fact, I'm going to put a list of cars that use this engine. It is that good, proven and tested. Now, there are other variants in terms of engine sizes that are put in this car, with them ranging from a 1.2 liter engine, which is turbocharged. These are the petrol variants. They have a further 1.3 liter engine. They have this 1.5 liter engine, a 1.6 liter engine, and finally a 1.8 liter engine, which is mostly found in the RS versions of the Toyota Auris. They also have diesel variants of the Toyota Auris, which come also from a 1.3 liter, a 1.6 liter engine, and finally a 2 liter engine. The special thing about these diesel engines is that they were adopted from BMW. This partnership basically was mutually beneficial to the two parties, Toyota and BMW, with BMW benefiting from battery systems from Toyota. Remember, Toyota are very good in terms of batteries and hybrid systems, and Toyota, who are not so good in terms of diesel engines, benefiting from the diesel engines. These cars come with two particular drivetrains, which consist of four-wheel drive. Like this particular model is the 1500cc, and it's a four-wheel drive variant of this. And finally, a front-wheel drive train, which comes in most of the other engine combinations of this particular car. They also have a wide array of gearboxes, them ranging from 4-speed auto, a 5-speed auto, a 6-speed multi-mode like the one I have on review today. I'll tell you furthermore about what the multi-mode is, a 6-speed auto, and a further CVT transmission, which normally came in the 180S models, the luxury models of the Auris. The other thing that is very unique about this car, it is four-wheel drive, and then on the tires, if you can come close, it has discs all round. The back tires have discs and the front tires have discs, which is quite unique in terms of this proposition of the Toyota Auris. When we come to the interior, we find a very familiar interior. Remember, Toyota fancy two types of interiors in terms of colors. There is a very light tan or beige that you mostly see in this smaller range of cars. But there's also this dark interior, which sometimes can be very difficult to maintain in terms of when it stains, it becomes very hard to clean. And in fact, the fact that this has patterns just brings out a bit more sophistication in terms of just not putting plain material on this, which is good. The other thing that I can note is the legroom is not bad. It is not the best. In fact, the car that I featured before, the Honda Fit, I reckon has more space in terms of sitting position for this car. This is much more less. I'm quite a tall guy, and it's not bad, by the way. It's just that it's not so much. So the other thing that I can say is, you see, the fact that this car is four-wheel drive, remember, we have to cater for space for the exhaust and the drivetrain. So if you come close, you see there is this raised transmission tunnel. So that definitely negates the fact that no one can actually sit here. It's going to be quite awkward. And I think Toyota knew about that. So some of the things that will come, this drop down armrest thing with the cup holders. So basically that negates that. So most of the time these cars are categorized as 5-seaters, but most of the time I just say this is more of a 4-seater because this is not ideal, and then you can't wedge your legs apart. So in the front part, follow me. So in terms of the front is quite basic, and we can't get used to that in terms of Toyota. Toyotas are practical and functional. That's their driver in terms of producing their cars. So they need to be functional and not put in awkward positions of the car failing or interiors falling apart. So to aid that fact, there's this sort of like a wood train. I think it's plastic, but it has a sort of like a wood train finish to it. If you just come close, this, I don't think it's wood, but it's plastic, but it looks good. The variation between that and this almost leatherish finish of the dashboard is nice, but in my opinion it's quite dull considering also the color. I think it would be best if they had a different variation, but still, you see, we are not going to split hairs in terms of the interior of this car. So some of the things that I can note are unique. Remember, I showed you this car is a 4-wheel drive. So just here you see an auto function in terms of the diff lock. If you come here, this is the auto function. Some of the other things, if you come here, there is a button for your traction control, just to put it on and off. And the other thing, if you come close to the gearbox, this is the multi-mode gearbox that I was talking about. So in terms of multi-mode gearbox is your traditional manual gearbox, but it has a computer controlled clutch, and this clutch has double magnets which actuate the different gears that you're in. And just to raise that fact, where some of the cars that come with this sort of gearbox will include the Yaris, some Mark-X's, and Toyota Verso. Those are some of the cars that come with that. So what basically this means is that you have the auto functionality of your gearbox, but you can still throw it into a manual mode where you select up and down gears. This runs up to 60 gears. When we start the drive, I'll show you how this works. In terms of other things, I like the fact that from the previous generation of the Toyota Auris, they used to have a very weird placement in terms of the gear shift knob. It used to be somewhere around here. The fact that they brought it back to here speaks volumes in terms of just trying things different and doing what customers really like. And can I tell you that so many people like the traditionally placed gearbox. It's more of cash. Not that the other ones are not cash, but they're just weird in my humble opinion. So in terms of boot space, it's not the best, but what you get is a donut, and which is normal, which is just normal for Toyotas. And I like the compartments that you have around here. They give you space to put your different things, and I like the clean finish about this. And aside from that, I can't say much more about it. Yep. Something thoughtful about this car, which just goes in to show you how much Toyota will actually think about it, is this car comes with this key fob, and if you look at the door handle, it doesn't have any buttons that you can press. But this actually, if you're close to the car and you just enter your hand here, it will sense, and voila, it opens. So that is something thoughtful, quite nice. In terms of the years that this second generation of the Toyota Auris, its production started in 2012, but actual cars started rolling off the plants from 2013 up to 2017. Yes, and that basically entails the second generation. In terms of a car, the Auris is not a very old model of a car. It's quite young. This car is well planted. The fact that it's a 4-wheel drive, it aids the fact. Another car that I've done, by the way, you can watch a review of, is the Mitsubishi Galant, which is also a saloon car. It's a sedan. This is a hatchback, but it also has a 4-wheel drive. And I'm usually quite skeptical in terms of having smaller cars being 4-wheel drive. It doesn't work out for me, but for other countries, in terms of the drive, probably in countries that have a lot of snow and what have you, it makes sense. But for Kenya, it's a nice to have. So you can watch that video on the review of the Mitsubishi Galant. It's a 2013 model. There'll be a link on this video just appearing about now. You can watch that. Back to this car. The interior is very dark. No problem about that. It's easier to clean and maintain. The other thing that I notice about this car, and it's in terms of the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a nice size, and I like the fact that they incorporated some steering wheel control. As much as there are few, these are just the basic ones for your radio control. Volume, you can put it up and down. You can change different aspects of the display in terms of what you want the car to display for you. Aside from that, it comes standard from Japan with this sort of like radio. And yes, it's that simple. It comes with a door lock here, your hazard. The center console is quite self-explanatory. There isn't much that you can write home about it, which goes with the Toyota philosophy of functionality. The car also comes with sort of like small tweeters on the door bezels here, this plastic sort of thing, which probably just aid into the sound quality of this car. Yeah, it's a nice car. Picks up speed easily. It's not going to win any awards for the fastest car, but it gets you there. And you're not buying this car to race it. They didn't forget my favorite part of any car, cup holders. It's nice to have this. Some other cars don't have. They also have sort of like just another compartment here. You would forget the main compartment here, your glove compartment, where you can put your things. Yes, and that's it. There is the armrest, which is divided into two different compartments, that one and the main one. Yeah, which is good. On the side, on the door cards, there are also some cup holders which you can utilize anytime. Yeah, this car is standard and very nice. So in conclusion, what are the few drawbacks? Because I've actually looked for things to say that this Toyota is not handling well or anything, but I can say the fact that there is a transmission tunnel and it is so raised negates the car from being a 5-seater to a 4-seater, but you can always sit there. The other thing that I can think about is, and it's not a drawback, this car is very reliable. It's well planted in terms of being on the road, and the fact that it is 4-wheel drive, it contributes so much in terms of the weight distribution. Remember, in the front-wheel drive cars, you only have the tank in the back to add weight back there. But when you have the drivetrain for a 4-wheel drive car, it makes the car more planted. I have an opinion in terms of this car. And let's just look at it this way. If I was to tell you to choose a hot hatch, one of the cars that will come out of your mouth will definitely be the Golf GTI. That is the king of hot hatches. But now the thing with the Golf GTIs that I don't like is they're referred to as the team check engine. These cars will have problematic gearboxes with the dual clutch gearboxes and engine functionalities. Now that's where Toyota get it right. This car will run faultlessly for the life of its user. These cars are rock solid and bulletproof. I'm not the hugest fan of this Toyota Auris, but I understand it. I totally understand it. So in conclusion, this is a car that you can get anytime, either second-hand or new. This car will serve you ages and ages and ages, carry your family and other generations. So with that, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you like this episode, by the way, give it a thumbs up and a very huge one. In fact, go further and subscribe so that you can get notifications for future shows. And with that, until the next time, it is peace, my peeps.